And greetings once again, primitive Earth homons. Welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Yes. So let us go ahead and load up our game. I did a whole lot of off-camera stuff. In between episodes, went around with my science rover all around the Space Center here, and like I mentioned before, each of these little kind of hexagon areas are their own separate little biomes, and even the aircraft runway is a biome. I think even the beach down here is a biome. You can head off over here with your rover. It takes a long time to do that because you got to go pretty slow. You got to pretty much roll that thing around probably under about 15 kph to keep it from exploding. Sometimes you get on the hills and the little jet engine there isn't enough to push them up the hills. But anyway, I went around to all these little biomes here and collected crap tons of science points for the spend it on stuff. So let us go ahead and open this here, and yes, we've got 182. So we can pick a couple of these in this, what do you call it, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the 5th tier of our tech tree here. These are going to be 160. We could pick one of these here. We could go for advanced electronics, which is going to give us stuff like a screwdriver. Woohoo! But these deployable photovoltaic cells, which are the big ones, I think, that unfold. Why are there 2 in here? 3 times 2, 1 by 6, 3 by 2. Okay. Photovoltaic panels, all kinds of that kind of stuff. Rechargeable battery. So, since basically while I was doing all the other sciencey stuff, I did a whole bunch of other missions here too. As we can see, I did do a bunch of these test things, which are real kind of pain in the ass, trial and error things. A lot of them are real tricky. You have to be performing the test at a specific altitude and a specific speed. So I did a bunch of those, earned a little bit extra moolah, Kerbal dollars. We've got 281,000 Kerbal bucks at the moment. And getting some of those missions out of the queue there has brought in some new contracts, and the ones I've been looking for is these ones. Position a satellite in a polar orbit. This one here is just a specific orbit. Let us see what it says. Orbit specifics. Inclination 12.5 degrees. Polar orbits may seem a little tricky, but they're actually not so hard to do. We could do those. Inclination 90 degrees. Here's a 12.5 degrees. This is probably, I'm sure, the easier one. 13 million meters versus that one's pretty far out there, I think. Way far out there. So maybe we'll go ahead and do this polar orbit mission here. 6 million meters. Inclination 90 degrees. Sure, what the hell, why don't we go ahead and do that? We've got a couple other test things. We can test a basic jet engine if we want, build ourselves an airplane. This radial decoupler test, I don't think I want to do that. It's pretty high up, and good range of speeds, but yeah, pain in the ass. I've done enough of those. Pain in the ass, for sure. We will go ahead and position the satellite in the polar orbit here. Do that mission. And what did it say as far as, how much we get paid for this anyway? 85,000 on completion, 31,000 advance. So, hey, yeah, that's pretty good. Good, 116,000 Kerbal dollars. Well, let's look at what else we can get. I think maybe advanced flight control might be good. Gives us this reaction control system, thruster block. Let's see, inline stabilizer, lander can. That might be good for landing on the moon. And a couple of other things here. Near RCS port, and we've got a roundified monopropellant tank. Well, let's just check and see what other things we got. We could do 2 of these, I suppose. So, sure, let's go ahead and research that. And maybe let's start at the top here. What else do we got? Heavy rocketry stuff I don't think we'll need just yet. Propulsion systems. We've got liquid fuel tank, an oxidizer. We've got the teeny tiny engine. We've got our fuel systems, which I don't think we really need that just yet. Advanced construction, ground base, modular storage, a whole bunch of other stuff that we probably don't really need just yet. Aerodynamics, maybe. We've got another big ass parachute, landing gear, 2.5 meter heat shield, more for big stuff too. We've got the launch escape system, which is just an emergency thing. We don't really need it. We'll just revert to the launch if we have any explodey problems. We've got landing struts, small landing gear for the airplanes and things. I think that's a retractable landing gear. And miniaturization. Don't know what to get. We've got the adapter here, stack separators, more stuff for big things, clampotron, docking port. You know, maybe we will do this because, sure, we'll go ahead and unlock that guy right there. And, yeah, maybe we can build ourselves a space station. We can, launch things now with the docking port, and we can dock things, do a little rendezvous up in space, and things like that. Rescue missions are another thing I really enjoy doing in this. Rendezvous, it could be a little tedious, but they're not so hard to do, really. So let's go ahead and... Oh, we lost our sound. We'll save our game here. And we're gonna build ourselves a satellite and launch that sucker. First of all, actually, why don't we... let's take a look at our mission parameters and see if we can go over here to the tracking station. And yes, this big green polar orbit is the one we want. Very important to note these little moving dots on there. If you launch your satellite and go in the opposite direction, you won't complete the contract. So very important to make sure you are going in the correct direction, even if you match this orbit. I've had problems with the second one of these polar orbit missions. Here's that other one. And we can see, oh boy, that's way out there. That's even way out past the moon, the Olivia moon. But yeah, good. Maybe we'll do that one next. But this first polar orbit should be a reasonably easy thing for us to do. What do we got here? We've got spacecraft debris. Landed on the ground. Why don't we explode that? Oh no, we'll just recover it. Sure, I didn't even know that was there. And we've got a bunch of these things too for the explore certain locations. Screw 'em. We're not going to bother with those at all. But we will do this polar orbit. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Probidobidyne because it has RCS control. This Staputnik does not have any kind of steering control at all, so we're going to, of course, want to start with this. And let's make sure and look at our parameters for this contract. We can build a new unmanned probe that has an antenna and can generate power. So reach the designated polar orbit around Kerbin within reasonable deviation. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Okay, so we want to generate zip power. So we're going to want, what is it, utility? Is it utility? And here we go, we've got our OXstat photovoltaic, try to say that word, photovoltaic panel, right there. So we're going to grab a couple of those guys, and we'll go two-way symmetry, and I'm going to turn it sideways a little bit there. We'll zoom in there. Slap a couple of those guys on the sides there so we can generate some juice for this thing. We've got our rechargeable batteries. We're going to slap a couple of those guys on there as well. I suppose right there would be good. We need some communication for this thing too. I think also maybe we'll throw one of these. No, is that too big? Yeah, that's too big aerodynamic. Well, it's not going to be terribly aerodynamic. That's okay. Let me see. Command and control. What have we here? Where's the communication thingamadingy? Here we go. Communitron. I'm gonna slap one of them guys on there. Or maybe, I don't think this actually, this item actually has any real weight to it. So sure, let's just slap a couple of those suckers on there. Pitching, just like that. And I think, we might as well do some science while we're up there with this thing. So let's throw a Science Junior on there. And what else can we do? We can slap a couple of thermometers on there. We can slap a couple of mystery goos on this bad boy too. I'm gonna stick them just right there next to those antennas. It's okay, this will all still function. I think maybe 2 mystery goo will probably do the trick for it. And yeah, this might end up being kind of a heavy thing, but oh well, who cares? Solar panel, is that the only one? I think that is the only solar panel we got. Hopefully it will have enough juice to transmit all the data and stuff. We're only going to be able to use these guys once anyway. The contract doesn't stipulate that we actually do any science up there, but we're going to take advantage. We're going to piggyback our science on their thingy-dingy. We're going to need some fuel for this sucker. I don't know, will a small fuel tank do enough for this? With the added weight, maybe let's put a bigger fuel tank on there. And in order to get this sucker in orbit, we're going to grab our little Terrier engine. And this is going to be our orbital stage right here. Let us now grab ourselves a decoupler. Stick that guy on there. And let us grab some more fuel tanks. Let's put like maybe 4 of them on there. We're going to have to lift this guy up. Make a little bit of room. And hold the Alt key. Duplicate that stage. So we'll duplicate it again. It's a big ass rocket. And now what we're going to need is our swivel engine. And I think we're going to have to throw a couple of these Hammer solid fuel engines on there as well. So let us grab the radial decoupler. Slap a couple of those bad boys on there. And back to our engines. A couple of hammers. And let's see if we can maybe move this whole mess of stuff down a little. I suppose we could, I hate it when they're not quite perfectly lined up. Give me perfect alignment. A little lower, so we could just sit on these, on the pad there, and hopefully we won't, I don't think we need to bother with the launch stability enhancer. I think it's only 200 Kerbal Dollaros, but who cares? Okay, a couple of aerodynamic thingamadingies on there, nose cones. We will grab, I think, sure, the deluxe winglets. Always something. We'll go with 4-way symmetry. And 4, I say. And perhaps we can't do that. Because have we actually reached the limit? I think maybe we have more than 40 parts on this, so okay, no problem. Here's what we're gonna have to do. Let's just get rid of the Science Junior. We can still do a little bit of science when we're up there, and That's just a bonus anyway. Still not enough. I think perhaps maybe we are just going to have to take all of the science off of here. Let's just go with maybe a single communitron. Smack that sucker down in the center, as close to center as possible. It's not going to affect our weight anyway. And yeah, we'll just go with a simple satellite to see if that now lets us put our winglets on there. Ooh, something is going funky with my symmetry. It does not want to do the four-way symmetry. There we go. That looks better. Everything lined up good. Okay, groovy, groovy. Hopefully, that's everything we need. Let's go back out to the launch pad. And we're gonna have to time accelerate again to get to our time of launch. So let's go ahead and we'll set our throttle back a little bit. I'm gonna leave our view in this direction here. Go back to our map and see where we're at. We need to come all the way back around to here, so we'll time accelerate. Okay. Back, and I think what we're going to do is switch back to the Space Center real quickly. And we're going to save our game here. So we don't have to deal with that no more. Okay. Back to flying our rocket. And this way we can reload. Okay, so throttle up to about a third on our main engine. And we're going to turn on our SAS and we're going to launch. Lean just ever so slightly to the north. And ever so slightly to the west. We're going to watch our fuel here. As soon as those solid boosters are done, we're going to jettison them and throttle up full on our main engine. There we go. Yeah, we're about 5,000 meters. Let's angle more north and a little bit more west. Try to get to about that 45 degree. It's a little rickety. And just over 11,000. Okay, let's switch to our map and then maybe we can navigate from here. So, as we can see, we want to keep this orbital line moving up and down. And right now, how are we doing? We're looking at an apoapsis of about 23,000, 24,000. And do we have science? No, maybe not. So, okay, and I think we want to maybe steer towards the east a little bit. Because the rotation of the planet is sort of messing with our thing a little bit. Let's bring her up to our noses down a little bit. Just want to get this thing into a regular sort of polar orbit. How's our fuel doing? We're doing pretty good on fuel. Okay. We can push her down towards the horizon now. A little bit to the right, and we're starting to sort of even things out. We'll just aim her right at the horizon. And I think we're just going to cut our fuel right there. Because 98,000, that's going to be good enough. Sure, that'll be good. That'll be good right there. And let's go ahead and go back to our rocket here. Let's see how badly we're lined up with this orbit. It's not really good, but I think maybe at the bottom of our orbit here, this is where we're going the slowest. So we want to perform the burn for orbital insertion, I think, when we're going the fastest, and our periapsis is the point where we're moving the quickest. When you get above your orbit here, you can start to slow down and get closer to the planet, you go a little faster. So, we're all crazy sideways here, so we're gonna have to, perform like a normal burn, probably as well. But, if we do this right, maybe we could do it all in one burn here. So, let us delete that maneuver now, and we're gonna add a maneuver right about here. And let's see. This is gonna be tricky. We're gonna just pull this out until we kind of cross. And it looks like it might not be too bad. We'll bring it down a little bit till it just about touches it there. I don't know which of these we're gonna need to. Maybe. No, we'll pull this one out. And that's, oh boy, this is gonna be ugly. But one of the things we can do, if we can get it roughly lined up, kind of hard to see sometimes. Then what we'll do, I believe, is we'll just move this maneuver to a position where it encounters that a little bit more precisely. Yep. Maybe just like that. How's that looking? Not too bad. We can bring this in, and this is going to use a little bit less fuel from here anyway, so sure, why not? Why not? If we can get a little bit more. Oh, no, something went funky with it. Oh, that's what happened. Now we want you up here. There we go. That might be pretty much as good as it gets right there. That's pretty darn close. And where are we at? I think we're approaching it. We've got to do a 33-second burn. And we've got about 3 minutes to the node. So, and we're just going to start about, maybe 16 seconds before. So, let's line up with our burn vector. And now all we got to do is, hopefully we'll have enough fuel to do this. I have screwed this up before. But hopefully all in one burn here we can at least get ourselves lined up with the orbit. And then of course, once we do that, once we come down to this node, we'll perform another burn. And hopefully we can do it precise enough to match the requirements and complete this contract. So why don't we go ahead and just time accelerate forward a little bit. We want to start about 15 seconds early. And let's see, down about 1 minute. And we'll just slow her down a little bit and So, okay, and boom. We're gonna hit Z. And so far so good. We've got about half of our fuel left. And what do we need? We need about 6100. Let's start to throttle down, because this is going to rise up real quick. So right when this thing gets to about 6,000, if you have trouble getting accurate enough burns too, you can always just go to your spacecraft view, and you can, you know, limit the thrust on your engine to get a little bit more precise control. Let's just tweak it a little bit. What do we need? We need... yeah. Oh, and we went too far. That's okay. And we'll just switch to retrograde here, and we'll just give it a little poof. Whoa, 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 whoa. We'll aim at our retrograde vector. And there we go. How's that looking? It's hard to see because they're both on top of each other. 6,092, 61, 24. That's pretty close. Okay, we'll delete that maneuver, and we're going to come down here now, and we'll perform another maneuver. And this will be the one that will kind of round out our orbit. I think our normal burn did pretty well. We're pretty well lined up with this thing right now. So, okay. Pull out our prograde node here. And yeah, get out of there, dang it. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting the control you need on these things. And maybe just a little more. How's that looking? If we need to adjust it a little more, we can use this here. How are we looking? Not too bad. Let's adjust this a little. Not quite perfect. There we go. And let's see. Let's just drag this until we... yep. Again, the precision sometimes is a little tricky. That's the thing I want to grab. And oh boy, can I get it there? Just right about there, maybe. And this stupid thing is in my way. We'll do a little more of a burn there. You know, I think that's going to get us pretty close. 62. What have we got? 6,080. And what all do we need for this? Oh, it doesn't tell us the parameters there. But we've got a long ways to go until we get to our burn. So, what I think I'm going to do is let's go back to our spacecraft right now. And we'll go ahead and just point this towards our burn vector for now. And let's just select this engine. And let's just thrust limit the sucker by about, maybe about 50%, sure. That'll work. Okay, back to our map. So, we're gonna have... oh, we've got science. Sure, let's do that mystery goo. I suppose I should be paying attention to the fact that we can do a little bit of science. And, okay, so, we've got a ways to go. It says we've got 3 hours, 12 minutes to our burn. It says estimated 3-second burn. I know that's not correct. But what we can do is just do a quick little burn. Now it says 12 seconds. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't really estimate it correctly, but let's just go ahead and fast forward. We'll time accelerate until we get there. One of the things we can do is we can... oh, you know, this isn't quite right yet, too. I think I accidentally tweaked one of these guys here. So let's fix that. Yes, yes, yes. That looks pretty good. You know, I don't think we're gonna do any better than that. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe a slight adjustment here. That's maybe as close as we can get her. Boy, that looks pretty good. That really looks pretty good. Okay. Aiming towards our burn vector. And got our NavBall kind of in the way here, but that's okay. And we're going to go ahead and time accelerate until we approach just before our burn. Let's go a little faster. You need to be careful with this sometimes. The next one you hit, I think, is something like 1,000 or something. And it moves pretty quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get her there. And we got 1 hour, 12-second burn. I'm not sure if that's right, then that's pretty good. That's not a whole lot of fuel for us to be using there. But let's get right on it. It's maybe not so important at this point here that we, you know, start our burn exactly 12 or exactly 6 seconds, you know, before. I think you can be a little bit sloppy, you know, with these satellite orbits. Sometimes they're a little picky. Like you have to get it just perfect. But really, I think they give you quite a bit of leeway for the most part. Let's get it down to 1 minute here. And okay. Bring it down to about that 6-second mark, and there we go. And perform our burn. We'll hit Z to throttle up all the way. And we'll use control to bring her down a little bit. And what do we want? We want about it 6,200. Let's throttle up just a little bit, get there a little quicker. And right about the point where they flip. And where are we at? At 59. Maybe we went past it. Let's wait 10 seconds and see if we're close enough. I don't know if we're close enough. We got 6285, 6222, 6018, 6067, and yes, there we did it. And we've got all of our requirements satisfied here. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Excellent. So we got this little satellite into orbit. Now what we can do is see, can we take a temperature reading? We have not taken a temperature reading, I think, from this altitude. But one thing we might want to do is orient our satellite towards the sun so that our solar panels there are going to get energy and recharge those batteries. So we'll go ahead and do that. I think we can probably turn off the SAS now, so we don't want to waste the energy. We'll turn it on momentarily until it just stabilizes itself. And just so we don't screw nothing up, let's turn our thrust limiter down to 0. And let's see, can we do another mystery goo? We might as well. Sure, we'll save that data. we will log the temperature. I think we've already used that one. We even see this one here. Well, we'll do it anyway. I wasn't aware, maybe we did get the automated thing for there. So, now I think what we can do, transmit data. Let's just do that. Redo this, observe the mystery, you will save the data, transmit all data. There we go. Had to click on the antenna to get that to do its thing. SAS disengaged. Yes, that's fine. How's our charge on our batteries? They're really low. But that's okay. I think we've got an operable satellite. Sweet. And there we are. Our thing is in orbit. Oh, we'll do a temperature scan too. Why not? Will that transmit? Do we have the power? Hopefully we have the power. In any case, that should be good. Now let's just go ahead and return to the Space Center. Let's see if we did get any science from that. I don't know if we did. Hopefully we did. Did we get the science? No, maybe. Yes, maybe. I don't know. In any case, yes, we done satisfied that mission there. And in our archives, yes, position satellite in polar orbit. These things don't really seem to be in any specific order, not the order that came in. But, so yeah, that was another, 110,000. We've got 395,000 Kerbal arrows at the moment. Sweet, and more contracts. What other contracts do we have available now? I might do another, I might do this other satellite orbit one here. I think this vehicle has probably got more than enough Delta V left in it to actually do that. You know, we can come over here to our tracking station and see. We can take a look at this craft here. We'll go back and fly the craft again and just take a look at our fuel. Yeah, geez, boy, we got a good, quarter, a little bit more than a quarter of our fuel left there. Yeah, so we got plenty of fuel, I think, to do that other one as well. So we'll probably perhaps do that in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this video, please do remember to rate, comment, share, subscribe, and always obey your alien overlords, or you'll be probed in your bunghole. Once again, this is AlienPet13 signing off. Probe you later.